So after my every team's best and worst jersey video, I knew that eventually looking at every badge was gonna happen too. So for my final video of the year, hell, my final video of the decade, I am ranking every current badge from 27 to 1. Yeah, I know, Austin FC not joining until 2021, but they got one, so I'm counting them. And St. Louis, Sacramento, and Charlotte haven't revealed theirs yet, so I'm not counting them. Disclaimer, I'm not a graphic designer, although I'm going to pretend to be one in this video. So I'll just say it right now. I am wrong, and don't take my opinion too seriously. 27. New England Revolution. Yeah, I know, I'm not original by putting this at the bottom of the list, but like, come on, man, this badge is so outdated. I don't care that it's supposed to be a tribute to the '94 World Cup, I just don't see that. I know some people say it's so bad, it's good, and because it's the last remaining original crest, we can't get rid of it. Yeah, no, I'm not one of those people. I think we gotta get rid of this. Honestly, the concept, I think, could work. The fact that it's a flag, I think could work. It's just the execution of it all. I don't like how there's no border around it, how it's white edges, like it just throws me off. And the marker crayon streak looking thing, like, oh God, what is that? There's been some rumblings that the Revolution might be going through a rebrand. Honestly, if they do that, I hope they don't get rid of the name. I kind of do like the Revolution brand. It's just the badge, yeah, they could definitely refresh that. 26. Chicago Fire. Look, I'm going to spend the most amount of time on this one because this is my team, and you know, I tried really hard to give it some time and maybe let the logo grow on me and not have any recency bias to this, but I can't do it. I look at this logo, this badge, and I honestly believe this is the second worst badge in all of MLS. Look, I never wanted them to go away from this original badge because I think it's absolutely gorgeous, nearly perfect. I mean, the Florian Cross, it's a great tribute to firefighters, and even looking past that tribute, it's just a really great shape. I mean, it's a really unique looking badge in MLS. Now, even though I think this current new badge is absolutely horrendous, I do think any new badge moving away from this would have brought similar negative reactions. And look, I understand what they were thinking. Like, we have the third largest market in the US with the worst attendance in MLS. Like, under no stretch of the imagination is that acceptable. So yeah, I can see them saying, hey, we need to make a splash. We need to win back the people of Chicago and get them back supporting this team. But this is the best you came up with? Like, seriously, Chicago, you spent 18 months designing this. Okay, first of all, the red does not pop off the blue. I've got the same issue with RSL's logo, actually. It's hard to see the red with this dark blue background. And, okay, what is that supposed to be? A crown? Oh, okay, yeah, a crown. Because, you know, that's never been done before in MLS logos. I mean, look, simplicity is not a bad thing. I honestly love simple logos. Nike, iconic. Bayern Munich, iconic. But this is not iconic. It's not pretty. It's just butt ugly. Oh my God, there are so many fan-made badges just floating around on Twitter and Reddit that are better than this piece of garbage. Honestly, I don't think any of them are better than the original badge, but I would have gladly taken any of them over this. This badge is so ugly, honestly, I don't think I'm gonna buy any Fire gear because of it. 25, Sporting Kansas City. This is a rebrand that worked. I mean, they went from having almost no fans to having some of the best fans in MLS. And they've been consistently good for the past decade. Doesn't mean their logo still doesn't suck. I mean, 11 stripes signifying 11 players? Okay. And why is it SC in this empty space and not KC? Why are they emphasizing Sporting Club and not Kansas City? It just doesn't make sense to me. 24, Nashville SC. I mean, look, I like the concept. I mean, the octagon shape for a badge, that's unique. And as a former radio guy, I love that they're including sound waves on their badge. The problem is, you can't even tell those are sound waves. Honestly, it looks more like a dumbbell to me. Now, no bueno. 23, Houston Dynamo. Honestly, the Houston Dynamo almost always look good on the field. I love the orange, white, and black color scheme, and I love most of their jerseys. I said the 2011-2012 home jersey was the best MLS jersey I had ever seen. But the badge doesn't really do it for me. I think it's got a lot going on, yet at the same time, kind of looking a little generic. If that makes sense. Probably doesn't. Like, okay, that clip art soccer ball, yeah, that's gotta go. Also, I'm not a huge fan of the shape of the logo. It just, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like the Superman logo. The problem is, how do you show Dynamo in a badge? Like, sure, I say that I would like to see, you know, a refreshed logo or a refreshed badge, but honestly, I have no idea how they'd be able to pull it off. 22, FC Cincinnati. Yeah, downgrade from USL, which I don't think was that great of a logo either, but better than this. I don't know, this is just too cookie cutter for me. Like, this reminds me of like a high school soccer badge. Or if I was in charge of designing a badge, this is probably the closest I can come up with. Because I've got no design skills. I think the lion with a sword is cool, I just don't like everything else around it. 21, San Jose Earthquakes. This is an upgrade from their last logo, but it's still not my favorite. Okay, this is the worst example of clip art soccer ball. Like, why do they keep drawing the ball like this? Like, why do they keep adding the black and white panels? It hasn't looked like this for decades. I don't get it. You take away the clip art soccer ball, and I actually don't mind this crest. The black and blue earthquake pattern, whatever you call that, I think looks kind of cool. This one is almost there. 20, Austin FC, the Fightin' Broccolis. Yeah, I know, it's supposed to be a tree with roots, and the whole Austin thing is like, know your roots or something like that, but look, I can't be the only one that doesn't see broccoli when I see this logo. I mean, black and green, pretty sick color scheme, I gotta say, but I mean, come on. 19, Real Salt Lake. Kind of already mentioned it with the Chicago badge, but the red lettering on the blue background is really hard to see, and that definitely takes this down a couple notches. I think the yellow R looks great. I think the crown looks awesome, and I know the crown is kind of an overdone concept on MLS badges now, but Real Salt Lake, they were really the first ones to do it, and they pull it off great. The shape of the badge looks awesome. Like, that is a strong shield. Really, I love everything about this except for the red lettering. I think if you highlight that just a little bit, this goes way up the list. But for now, number 19. 18, Red Bull New York. Generic? I mean, it's the Red Bull logo. Like, me personally, I don't hate the commercialization of Red Bull into soccer and into Major League Soccer, but this is just a basic logo. It's just the Red Bull logo. Like, what can you really do with that? Now, I have seen this floating around on Mark Fishkin's Twitter account. I have no idea how real this is, but if this becomes the new Red Bull New York logo, I gotta say, I kind of like it. It depends on how they color the N and the Y, but this also could move up the list. 17, Montreal Impact. Yeah, I know, a lot of people say this is one of the best badges in MLS. It's too busy for me. Like, I like the fleur-de-lis, I just wish it was solid white. I don't really like the whole shading they got going on. You had the fleur-de-lis with the stripes on the bottom, and the 4 stars, and the motto up top. Like, I just feel like they need to get rid of one of those elements, and it would look a little less cluttered for me. I could see why people really like this logo, but for me, it doesn't really do it for me. 16, Columbus Crew. Oh, I can hear people freaking out about this already. Look, I know this badge is like universally loved among supporters, but again, it's too busy for me. Like stripes and checkers, just pick one. And hey, I'll make it even easier for you. Pick the checkers, because that's unique to MLS. I hear people describing this as very European, very German, but I don't need a badge in MLS to be European. I just feel like it's trying a little bit too hard. Don't kill me, Columbus fans. 15, DC United. This was a rebrand that honestly I didn't actually feel was necessary because I liked the last badge they had. I will say, this one, it's also pretty good. I mean, the eagle expanding past the border, that's really cool. The use of the DC flag looks really badass. This is a good badge. I just don't know if it's better than the last one. I mean, the last one, despite having the clip art soccer ball, it popped off from the red background. I thought it looked really iconic. If I had any critique for this current badge, I would just say it doesn't pop off from the background as much as the old one. 14, Toronto FC. Just a tad generic for me. Like, I like the maple leaf on top. I like the 2 different shades of gray within the logo. It's really not that bad, it's just not all that memorable. I will say, have you seen their Academy logo though? Oh my God, this blows out their current badge out of the water. Like, seriously, if they're ever gonna rebrand, like, just take the Academy badge because this is a thing of beauty. 13, New York City FC. Now this one is pretty damn good. I love how it's a nod to a Subway token. I mean, Subway's New York, it's perfect. I think the colors look great. I will say it looks a little too much like Inter Milan for me, but I mean, come on, there are hundreds and hundreds of clubs around the world. Chances are, if you're designing a new badge, it's probably gonna look something similar to another badge around the world. So I can't hate on them too much for that. 12, Inter Miami. You wanna know something really depressing? Apparently the same company that designed Inter Miami's badge also designed Chicago Fire's badge. Like, what? How does that happen? How do you have something that's really, really good and then something that's really, really dog shit? And how did I get stuck with the dog shit? Okay, but in all honesty, Inter Miami's badge I think is gorgeous. The black and pink I think is beautiful. I've been waiting for a pink team in any sport in this country. We finally got one with Miami. The symmetry, the herons, it's just a really gorgeous badge and I love it. I will say, I'm kind of over the whole circle badge thing. Like, I thought it was unique when Philadelphia did it at first, but now I just feel like too many teams are going down this path. I think they actually could have scrapped the circle and just done the badge with the Miami and the herons. I think it would have looked fine. The circle, could have done without. 11. Vancouver Whitecaps. Yeah, this is when the list starts to get really good. I mean, I love this one. This might be my favorite shape of a badge in all of MLS. Like, you got the white triangles on top, the light blue triangles on the bottom, they form the diamonds. It's very, very simple, yet very, very cool looking. I love this one. 10, Colorado Rapids. Another badge with mountains on it. I think this one looks really, really cool as well. I love the 2 shades of the mountains on top, and even though it does have a little bit of a clip art soccer ball, I think it looks nice and it kind of separates the 2 mountains. Also, the 96 below the soccer ball is a nice touch. And also, this badge seems to be a little bit skinnier than the rest of the badges. I'm not sure the white on the very top and on the very bottom of the badge was necessary, but I mean, come on, at this point, I'm just nitpicking. This is an amazing badge, and I also love it. 9, Atlanta United. Yeah, admittedly, this badge grew on me because when I first initially saw it, I thought it was okay. But I think because they keep winning, I just think it keeps getting more and more iconic. And I gotta admit, seeing it on the drums and the posters and the bumper stickers and the banners, like, yeah, okay, it's a pretty cool badge. I just think they nailed the color scheme. Like, it's the perfect shade of red and the perfect shade of gold. I like how the A doesn't go all the way to the top, and I like the shading of the A. Like, Montreal, take notes. This is how you do shading. 8, FC Dallas. Very simple, and yet I love it. You can probably sense a theme here. I love simple badges, but the bull horns that separate the red and the blue, I mean, oh, come on, that's so Texan. I love that. I mean, red, white, and blue, that's not just American colors. Those are Texan colors, and FC Dallas pulls it off perfectly here. You add in the star, you add in the little flame. The flame, a nice little throwback to the Dallas Burn, the Dallas Burn with a fire-breathing horse, that may have been the worst logo in all of MLS, but the fact that FC Dallas can pay homage to it, yeah, pretty cool. 7, Philadelphia Union. Normally a badge with this much going on would probably be too much for me, but I think it works for Philadelphia. Also, they were the first team in MLS to have the circle badge, and while I think it's an overdone concept now, again, I think it works for Philadelphia. The snake centerpiece, oh, that is so cool. And they recently updated the colors. Now they use a much brighter gold color. The last gold they used looked a little dirty and it didn't really work for me. So these updated colors, I think, make the badge look so much better. This, one of the best in MLS. 6, LAFC. I mean, like, come on. This is a gorgeous badge. And I know it's simple, it's just LA with a wing coming from the A, but honestly, that's all it needs to be. Like, I think what really makes this one of the best badges in MLS is just the color scheme. Like, the black and gold, it's so strong. Kind of like how red, white, and blue is Texas. I don't know, I've just always kind of felt like black and gold reminded me of, like, California. 5, Seattle Sounders. It's kind of like a badge on top of another badge, and yet it works really well. I think green and blue as a color scheme, it wouldn't work if they were just next to each other, but the fact that it's green on top of blue, I don't know, it just looks really nice to me. Also, the Space Needle, I mean, come on, that's so iconic. I like landmarks as logos. I think it looks great with the Eiffel Tower and PSG, and this is kind of similar. The Space Needle with Seattle. I think it looks awesome. 4, LA Galaxy. This is probably the best badge upgrade in all of MLS. Like, the old one, ooh, okay, I don't like that one. This badge was introduced when David Beckham came to the Galaxy, and honestly, I just think it's perfect. Like, the yellow outline around the blue is just gorgeous, and the little quasar, that is just the perfect way to show Galaxy. It's small, it's subtle, but it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, now these next 3 honestly are a step above everyone else. Like, from the beginning, I always knew these 3 were gonna be the top 3, and I had a really hard time picking who number 1 was out of this group, but I think I got it right. So, let's start this off with the bronze medal. Number 3, Orlando City. Notice, no shading with this, no extra bells and whistles. It is just a gold lion on top of a purple background. It looks marvelous. Like I said, I like simplicity. It doesn't get much more simple than this. Now you look at their USL logo and good God, what is that? I'm really glad they killed off 2 of the lions and got rid of the red. This singular gold lion, it's menacing, even though they've never made the playoffs. It's menacing and yet it looks majestic. Beautiful logo. Silver medal, number 2, Portland Timbers. Okay, thank God they got rid of the lettering on this, because when this badge had lettering, it looked a little cramped. I didn't really like that so much. But since they got rid of that, now it is just the axe. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. Very similar to Orlando City, because get this, it's simple. I love the simple designs. But the axe, it has been used forever, since the USL days, since the NASL days. The axe is the Portland Timbers. Axe, the chevrons, the green and yellow color scheme. It's just so sexy. And I love this one so much. Almost the best badge in MLS. But it's not. Because the gold medal, number 1, best badge in all of MLS is Minnesota United FC. Okay, now honestly, I don't particularly think they've had great jerseys in MLS. I kind of think they've been a little underwhelming. But this badge is, oh my God. It's beautiful. I mean, the wings spreading past the border, the North Star, the red eye. I don't think this is just one of the best badges in MLS. I think this is one of the best badges anywhere in the world. But I will say, it's gotta be the authentic badge. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, if you get the replica jersey, for some reason they enclose the North Star within the border of the jersey, and it just, I don't know, it looks very wonky to me. It doesn't feel right. This badge on the authentic jersey, best badge in all of MLS. Well, what do you think? Am I right? Am I really, really wrong? Let me know. Let me know what you think is the best badge in all of MLS. And remember, if you're a supporter of MLS or just curious to find out more about the league, subscribe for more MLS content. And let me know what you want to see a video on next. Thank you for watching.